A university professor went to visit a famous Zen master. While the master quietly served tea, the professor talked about Zen. The master poured the visitor's cup to the brim and then kept pouring. The professor watched the overflow until he could no longer restrain himself. "Stop! The cup is overfull. No more will go in." "Like this cup," the master replied, "you are full of your own opinions and speculations. How can I show you Zen unless you first empty your cup?" The professor sat in silence, suddenly understanding. The professor looked down at the tea spilling across the table, watching as it dripped onto the floor. For years he had studied philosophy, psychology, and spirituality. He had written books, given lectures, and debated with the greatest minds in academia. Yet in this simple moment, with tea soaking into his expensive shoes, he realized how his knowledge had become a barrier rather than a bridge. The Zen master set down the teapot and smiled gently. "When we believe we already have all the answers," he said, "we stop asking questions. When we stop asking questions, we stop growing. When we stop growing, we begin dying." The professor nodded slowly. "I see now. I came seeking validation for what I already believe, not true understanding." "Precisely," said the master. "The cup that is already full can receive nothing more. But the empty cup, it holds infinite possibilities. You see, in life we are all like this cup. Our minds are filled with preconceptions, judgments, and fixed ideas. We try to absorb new wisdom while clinging to what we already know. But true learning, true growth, requires emptiness first. Consider how often we approach conversations already knowing what we will say next, rather than truly listening. Think about how we view the world through filters of past experiences, missing the uniqueness of each present moment. Remember how we judge new ideas based on old assumptions, closing ourselves to innovation and growth. When your mind is full, there is no room for new perspectives. When you approach life with a mind already made up, you miss the wonder of discovery. Empty your cup. Let go of what you think you know. Only then can you truly see what's in front of you. Only then can you hear what others are really saying. Only then can you taste the richness of each moment. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. In the expert's mind, there are few. This wisdom extends beyond intellectual pursuits. In relationships, emptying your cup means setting aside assumptions about others and seeing them with fresh eyes each day. In work, it means approaching familiar tasks with curiosity and openness. In self-development, it means acknowledging that you don't have all the answers. And that's perfectly fine. The greatest scientists, artists, and philosophers throughout history understood this paradox. True wisdom begins with admitting how little we know. Einstein once said, "The more I learn, the more I realize how much I don't know." This is the essence of emptying your cup. Today, when faced with a challenge or a new idea, remember to empty your cup first. Notice when you feel resistance or judgment arising. Pause, take a breath. Ask yourself, am I approaching this with an open mind, or am I already full? Choose emptiness, choose openness, choose growth, and your heart will always remain full. For when we empty ourselves of preconceptions, we create space for wonder, compassion, and authentic connection, the true treasures of a life well lived.